Good afternoon, students. Welcome to today's class. Dear students, in the last class, we are discussed a lesson, the boy who asked more. In that lesson, the author tells about the importance of the quality, kindness, or the sympathy that we should show to the every creature. But in that story, the owner of the poor house, he didn't show any mercy, any kindness to that boy. So today, we are here with another new topic, that is a poem by in the 8th standard text for a 5-year-old. For a 5-year-old, written by Fleur and Koch. In this poem, the poet is telling us about the nature of human beings. In 12th century, there was a person, great personality, name is Basavanna. He has written so many vachanas. In that one is ನುಡಿದರೆ ಮುತ್ತಿನ ಹಾರದಂತಿರಬೇಕು, ನುಡಿದರೆ ಮಾಣಿಕ್ಯದ ದೀಪ್ತಿಯಂತಿರಬೇಕು, ನುಡಿದರೆ ಸ್ಫಟಿಕದ ಸಲಾಕೆಯಂತಿರಬೇಕು, ನುಡಿದರೆ ನಿಂತ ಮೆಚ್ಚಿ ಕೂದೋದೆನಬೇಕು. ಒಂದು ವಚನ, there was a ವಚನ was there. It tells us about how a human being should behave. How a human being should behave, that a person, is there any, we can't see the speech and the similarity in speech and action. That most of the human beings, they are preaching one thing and they are practicing another. So there will be no similarity in preaching and action. This is not good. We should act according to our preach. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಮನುಷ್ಯರಾದಂಥವರು ನಮಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಾತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ನುಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಕೆಲಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ನಾವು ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸಗಳನ್ನು ಕಾಣ್ತೀವಿ. ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡೋದೊಂದು, ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು. ಇದು ಆಗಬಾರದು. ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ what we say or what we preach. That's what the poet Fleur and Koch is going to tell us in this poem. So here, the Basavanna also said the same thing, that how our preach should be. How our preach should be, that we should always say truth, and we should practice to do what we say. So that's what the poet is going to tell us in this poem. Okay. Before going to start the poem, let's see something about the poet. Fleur Adcock is a British citizen who was born in New Zealand in 1934. So she was born in New Zealand in 1934, but she was stayed in Britain, so that she was become a British citizen. She worked as a librarian in London. So first she was working as a librarian in London. She was also edited the Faber Book of 20th Century Women's Poetry. She also edited that book. Many of her poems are about the everyday experience of a woman as a wife and a mother. So, she mainly concentrated on woman's experience as a wife and as a mother. So, in this poem, she is going to tell us about the contradictions in our dealings. There is a difference between what we preach and what we really practice. So, there will be a contradiction in our dealings. ಒಂದು ಸಾಮ್ಯತೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ನಮ್ಮ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. What we are doing? We are preaching something and we are doing another thing. So there will be no similarity between our doings and our preachings. So that's what the poet is telling us. Let's start the poem. Page number 72. First I will read the poem. You observe my pronunciation and my reading. A snail is climbing up the window sills into your room. After a night of rain, you call me in to see, and I explain that it would be unkind to leave it there. It might crawl to the floor. We must take care that no one scratches it. You understand? And carry it outside with careful hand to eat a daffodil. I see then that a kind of faith prevails. Your gentleness is molded still by words from me, who have trapped mice and shot wild birds, from me, who drowned your kittens, who betrayed your closest relatives, and who purified the harshest kind of truth to many another, but that is how things are. I am your mother, and we are kind to snakes. So, once again I will read the poem. A snail is climbing up the windowsill into your room after a night of rain. You call me in to see, and I explain that it would be unkind to leave it there. It might crawl to the floor. We must take care that no one scratches it. You understand? And carry it outside with careful hand to eat a daffodil. I see then that a kind of faith prevails. Your gentleness is molded still by words from me, who have trapped mice and shot wild birds, from me, who drowned your kittens, who betrayed your closest relatives, and who purified the harshest kind of truth to many another, but that is how things are. I am your mother, and we are kind to snakes. So here, one day, in the night after the rain, there was a snail in the poet's son's room, and it was climbing in the windowsill, and after seeing that, her son called the poet to see, and the poet told him to save it. If it is in the floor, somebody will unknowingly scratches it. So that's why you take it to outside and leave it in the garden and make it to eat daffodils. So it shows that we must show mercy to every creature. We should be kindful to every creature. It is our duty as a human beings. So that's what, and in the second stanza also she is telling that that every human being is preaching something and they are doing another thing. So that is telling in this poem. Okay, let's. I will begin to. I will explain it. A snail is climbing up the windowsill. Here, windowsill means windowsill. It has been given in the glossary. You can see that lower wooden frame of the window. Frame of the window. Usually flat and broad. Usually flat and broad. So windowsill means the lower frame of the window. ಕಿಟಕಿಯ ಕೆಳಗಿನ ಒಂದು ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ವಿಂಡೋಸಿಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅದು ಫ್ಲಾಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಬ್ರಾಡ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Snail is SNAIL. Snail means in Kannada it is you can call it ಬಸವನ ಹುಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಬಸವನ ಹುಳು. The common creeping stony insect is called as a snail. In Kannada we can say basavana hulu. Basavana hulu. A snail is climbing up the windowsill. So one day in poet's son's room after the rain, a snail was climbing the windowsill. ಒಂದು ದಿನ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಮಳೆ ನಿಂತ ನಂತರ ಒಂದು ದಿನ ಆ ಕವಿಯ ಮಗನ ರೂಮಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಬಸವನ ಹುಳು ಆ ಕಿಟಕಿಯ ಒಂದು ಇದನ್ನ ಕಿಟಕಿ ಹತ್ರ ಹತ್ತುತ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಹತ್ತಾರೆ. Into your room after a night of rain. So that night there was a rain. We usually see these snails in the rainy seasons. After the rain we can see these type of insects. So one night there was a rain. After the rain there was a snail in poet's son's room. ಒಂದು ದಿನ ಈ ಒಂದು ರಾತ್ರಿ ಮಳೆ ಬಂದು ನಿಂತ ನಂತರ ಬಸವನ ಹುಳು ಆ ಕಿಟಕಿಯ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಹತ್ತುತ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. You call me in to see. So when you see that there was a snail, you call me. So after seeing that 5-year-old boy, that's why she is put the name a 5-year-old, means it's it indicates the age of the poet's son. So you call me to see. So when the poet's son saw that snail, he called his mother to see that. ಯಾವಾಗ ಆ ಮಗು ಆ ಹುಳುವನ್ನ ಬಸವನ ಹುಳುವನ್ನ ನೋಡುತ್ತೋ ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ತನ್ನ ತಾಯಿಯನ್ನ ಕರೀತಾನೆ. And I explained, and the poetess came there and she explained her son, that it would be unkind to leave it there. So the poetess is telling to her son that it is unkind. If we leave that insect there, it is unkind. ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಅದು ತಪ್ಪಾಗುತ್ತೆ. It might crawl to the floor. It might crawl to the floor. Means if it is dropped to the floor, ಅದೇನಾದರೂ ನೆಲಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿದ್ದರೆ we must take care that no one scratches it. There is a possibility of somebody will unknowingly scratch it. ಅಂದರೆ ಅದು ಏನಾದರೂ ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ ಅದು ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬಿದ್ದರೆ ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಕೂಡ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದಂಗೆ ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕಾಲನ್ನು ಇಡ್ಬೋದು, ತುಳಿಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Scratches, that no one scratches it means that no one scratches it. That no one scratches it. Scratches it means since the snail is a since the snail is a slow creature it is likely to be crushed under one's foot. So if it is a possibility of if it is on the floor, somebody will unknowingly kept their foot on it. So it is possibilities like that. ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾರಾದರೂ ತಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದಂಗೆ ಅದನ್ನು ತುಳಿಬಹುದು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. You understand, and carry it outside with careful and to eat a daffodil. So the poetess is advising her son that if it is leaving it there, it is unkind. If it is on the floor, somebody will scratch it. So you carefully take it in your hand and leave it in the garden and make it to heat daffodils, flowers. ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಇದನ್ನು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಯಾರಾದರೂ ತುಳಿದು ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದು ಸತ್ತೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನೀನು ಅದನ್ನು ಹುಷಾರಾಗಿ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದನ್ನು ಡಾಫೋಡಿಲ್ಸ್ ಹೂವುಗಳನ್ನು ತಿನ್ನೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎ ಮದರ್ ಶುಡ್ ಟೀಚ್ ಟು ಹರ್ ಸನ್ ಆರ್ ಟು ಹರ್ ಡಾಟರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಅರ್ಲಿ ಏಜಸ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ತಾಯಿಯಾದಂಥವಳು ಬೇರೆ ಒಂದು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಚರ್ಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಯ ಇತರ ಜೀವಿಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಅವರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕರುಣೆಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನ ಅವಳು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ವಯಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. I see then that a kind of faith prevails. So the second stanza, the poet is telling us about the human behaviors. That ನಾವು ಆಡೋದು ಒಂದು ಮಾಡೋದು ಒಂದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಆ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರೀಚಿಂಗ್ one thing and we are doing another thing. That is what a kind of faith prevails means. It is commonly believed that character is built by words of advice than by intimation of what others actually do. Imitation. So, if one's character builds by the advice, words of advice, if we advised our children very well, they will become a good persons to the society, a good citizen to the society. So that's why, but children, what the children will do? Children, they will not follow my words, they will follow what we do, they will imitate what we do. So that's why we should be, we are the parents and the elders of this society, we should be careful about our behaviors. If we do he wills, the children will follow that only. So that's why we should be aware of our behaviors. ಅಂದರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಹೇಳಿದ ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವೋ ಅದನ್ನು ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾವು ದೊಡ್ಡವರಾದಂಥವ್ರು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ನಮ್ಮ ನಡತೆಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಜಾಗರೂಕರಾಗಿರಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿತ್ವ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಆಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ನಾವು ಕೊಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಲಹೆಯಿಂದ, ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಇಮಿಟೇಷನಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. So that is not truth, it is only a prevailing belief not based on truth. It is not based on truth because children will they will act how we act. So that's how they learn. So that's why we must have cultivate good behaviors, then only the children will follow those behaviors. Your gentleness is molded still by words. So now the poet is telling to her son that your gentleness, your good behavior, is molded still by words. So I have preached you good behaviors, I have advised you. That's why your gentleness is become molded by words. ಅಂದರೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯತನ, ನಿನ್ನ ಸ್ವಭಾವ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ನನ್ನ ವರ್ಡ್ನಿಂದ ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. From me who have trapped mice and shot wild birds. So people are talking about the kindness and sympathy and mercy, but what they are really doing, there will be so much of differences between their preach and their actions. What they are doing, they are kept trapped. Trapped means here bone irtakkantadu. We caught the mouse in the we trap in the mouse in ಬೋನಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲಿಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಬೆಳೆಸ್ತೀವಿ. And we trapped mice and shot wild birds. And we saw that so many human beings, they are shooting the birds which were flying on the sky. And we put the trap to caught the mice. So that type of behaviors. And from me who drowned your kittens, who betrayed your closest relatives. So some people are there, they dropped cats, the small cats, into the water and they are enjoying. And some people who they betrayed to their closest friends, closest relatives. So these are the things we are doing that is not good for our behavior. It means to say that they are preaching something and they are doing another thing. So this is what the poet is telling in this poem. Relatives, so they are having good opinion on us. They have they believed us, but even though we are doing betrayal to us. So that should not be a good behavior. Who furied the harshest kind of truth to many another. So not only we are spreading it to another to do like this. That is what happened. But that is how things are. That is how the world is. Not all the people, but most of the people are doing it. So that's not good for the society. I am your mother, and we are kind to snails. So, but the poet is telling to her son that I am your mother, and it is the duty of us to save this snail's life. So these are the things have been discussed in this. Here, one more word is there, that is pure white. Pure white means carried on or delivered. Carried, carried on or delivered. So all of the main motto of this poem, the intention of this poem is to, the wish of this poem is to tell us about we should do what we say. There should not be no difference between our speech and our action. ನಾವು ನುಡಿದಂತೆ ನಡೆಯಬೇಕು. ನುಡಿದಂತೆ ನಡೆಯದಿದ್ದರೆ ಕೆಡವಿ ಮೂವಣದು ಕೊಯ್ವ ಕೂಡದ ಸಂಗಮ ದೇವ ಅಂತ ಬಸವಣ್ಣ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. So that's what we have to adopt in our life. So this is all about this poem for a 5-year-old by Fleer and Bob. For homework, I am giving you some questions. Let's check on the homework. Homework. Name the creature mentioned in the poem. Name the creature mentioned in the poem. So the second question, who do you think is the speaker? Who do you think? Who do you think is the speaker? So the third question, who is the speaker addressing? Who is the speaker addressing? What does the child want to his mother to see? What does the child? What does the child? What does the child want his mother to see? Want his mother to see? Want his mother. So these are the 4 questions I am giving you for today's homework. I hope we have all understood the poem well and try to inculcate these things, these values in your life. Okay, let's meet you in the next class. Thank you. Thank you.